Hi guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, this is a video that has been really requested on my channel. You all have been wanting to see a bronzer roundup video and I'm here to deliver that video for y'all. I chose to round up all of my cream bronzers in my entire collection. I did put up a poll and I asked y'all if y'all wanted to just see the newer bronzers or kind of all of the bronzers that I have. And honestly, I chose to do just cream bronzers because that is literally all that we have been getting. That's new on the market is a ton of new cream bronzers, and I think I've tried pretty much all of the newest cream bronzers, I think. So yeah, let's get into the video. Basically, I really wanted to do this video because I want to help you save money if possible. I want to let you guys know what is worth your coin, what's really not worth your coin, if I liked it, how I feel about it, how it wears, all of that good stuff. So we're going to get into it. I think I'm going to go ahead and start off with pot bronzers that are in like pots, and then we'll move on to stick bronzers. So the first one I want to talk about is one of the new ones, and it's from NARS. So this is the NARS cream bronzer. I have the shade Laguna 5. Now, I really like this formula. I'm just gonna come out and say I really like this formula because it is a cream bronzer that dries down. It is a self-setting bronzer. You do not need to set it. The shades are beautiful. I think the shade range is also pretty good. I feel like you're probably bound to find your perfect shade that you want to use. It is a thinner formula, but it has a really nice coverage to it as well. And you can definitely feel when you swatch it, or hopefully you can see it on the screen. When you swatch it, you can see that it does immediately start to dry down. But I think it's so blendable. I used it today with a sponge. I like to use this particular bronzer with a sponge, but it's just a really beautiful bronzer. I love the formula. I definitely think this is worth the money. If you're looking for a good cream bronzer, I do think this is definitely worth the price. So the next bronzer is one that is not new to my channel. You all know how much I love this bronzer, and I'm so happy anytime I get to talk about this. This is definitely my most used cream bronzer in my collection, and that is the Anastasia Beverly Hills cream bronzer. And I'm really excited to say that they added a few more shades in their range, because when this first came out, honey, the shade range was not very good. It was not good at all, but I'm happy that they adjusted and came out with a couple more shades and added and kind of filled in some of those gaps, because trust me, the gaps weren't needed to be filled. They did it, and I love this formula so much. And that was the only problem with this launch, was the shade range. But this cream bronzer is so good. Look at the dent. Okay, this is like dedication, okay, to this bronzer. I love this bronzer so much. This is a thicker cream bronzer. The pigmentation, insane. This is a cream bronzer where I feel like you have a little bit more playroom before it starts to set itself. As you guys are gonna know from this video, I love bronzers that kind of set themselves, because it's one less thing I have to do when I do my makeup. But it's a really beautiful formula. It just makes you look sun-kissed. The shade that I use is Chestnut, but it's just so pretty, and it definitely does set down. It gives you a little bit more room to play with it. I definitely think this is another good bronzer formula to have. The next cream bronzer is from DANESSA MYRICKS. I actually have two from DANESSA MYRICKS. This one is the Power Bronzer. The shade that I have is the shade Deep. Let me tell you about this, because when I tell you this is probably one of the most pigmented cream bronzers that I own. This is so pigmented, it a little bit goes a very long way. You literally just need to take a dab of this and you're good to go. This is a very inexpensive formula. It's super thick. It kind of feels like a thick mousse formula. It's very thick. I took one swatch, and do you see, I literally just did one swatch and it's so thick. I have to tread very carefully with this, so sometimes it makes me not want to use it because it's so pigmented. Just from my one swatch, you can see how much product it picked up and how it moved the product around in the pan. This is a cream bronzer that I like to use when I'm going more full coverage glam makeup, because I want like a very sculpted look. I want my cheeks snatched, you know, I want everything to look slim and snatched. So I would go for this. This isn't an everyday bronzer. I will tell you, if you're looking for something for everyday, I don't think this is the right bronzer. But I do think you might like the other DANESSA MYRICKS cream bronzer better. Oh, what? There's no name on this one. I never know. But it's the other one. I think this is the Contour Balm. And this shade that I have is Deep 2. I love, love, love this one. I do feel like I reach for this one more than the other one. This one's more of a, this one says it's a contour balm, where this one says it's a bronzer balm, but you can, depending on whatever shade you choose, you can use it however you want. This one definitely does feel a lot thinner and easier to work with. I do feel like this one is a little bit easier to blend. It does kind of have like a little bit of like a, I don't want to say greasy, but it definitely does have like a balmy feel, and you definitely do have to set this. Otherwise, if you don't, I feel like it'll slip and slide on the face. Any cream product, I do recommend setting. Otherwise, it'll just slip and slide on the face unless it is a self-setting product. But you can just see in the pan how kind of shiny it is, because it does have like that balm-like texture. Out of the two from DANESSA MYRICKS, I really like this one a lot more, and I definitely recommend this one a lot more. Just because if you just take a lot of this, it's like you can't go back from that. You take a lot and you put it on your face, you're gonna have to put in a little bit more work with this product. Whereas this one, I feel like it's a little bit easier to work with and easier to blend out. All right, this next cream bronzer is also a new one. I wish I had a little bit better news about this bronzer, but this is from Rose Inc. This is the new Rose Inc. cream bronzer. I have the shade Capri. I think there's only 4 shades. I picked up the deepest shade. This is made in the USA. Now, the first thing I wanna talk about is the packaging. I'm just gonna say I do not like this packaging at all. It is not my favorite packaging, because every time I go to open this, I literally like my nails get in the way of it. Like I can't, like I just have to hold it a certain way to twist it. That's just one thing that's just gonna, is like one thing that would sway me from wanting to pick up the product. Because if I'm in a rush and I have to take my time to open up this, or it's gonna be difficult to open this up, I'm not gonna wanna pull from it. I think about these things as a consumer or someone who is always on the go, who needs that quick, easy makeup. You love your cream products, you love your cream bronzer, but you just want that quick, easy, on the go makeup. I don't think this is the, first from the packaging, don't think this is the right bronzer if you want something really quick and easy. Some people prefer a stick cream bronzer because it is easier to use than a pot, which I totally get. So I wore this today, and you guys are gonna see the demo. The texture of this is just not for me. It kind of feels a little bit on the greasy side. It kind of feels like there's some kind of oil in this product, and it's just not for me. I don't know if it's just the formula of it or what, but I just don't think that this is a cream bronzer for me. But if you love those thinner bronzers or things like that, you might like this. Someone with oily skin, I don't think that this is a good bronzer to use, because it does feel like it kind of has a little bit of oil in it. Some people love like skin oils and they love oil in their makeup. You might like this one. Just take what I say with a grain of salt, because you might like products that have oil in it, you know? You never know. You might like that. The next cream bronzer I want to talk about is from SAIE Beauty. Oh my gosh, I love this cream bronzer so much. This is like an emollient, thick cream bronzer. I love it. It's very sun-kissed and natural, which I do like, but you can see the color. It's natural, but you can see the color. You know, it does something for me. The shade that I have is Deep Bronze, which is so pretty. Look at my little dent. I'm so proud of myself. It's such a nice dent. This formula is very thick. It kind of is like a weird, it's a very weird formula. It's so hard to describe. It's thick and it's emollient, and it kind of can like set itself. Airtime on this is so good. I feel like if you ever see this in Sephora, go and feel it. You'll feel what I'm talking about. I do like to set this with a powder bronzer. This is just one of those bronzers that I don't mind setting. It's just a really pretty shade. I love how sun-kissed I look. I just love this bronzer so much. I feel like the brand SAIE has been all over TikTok lately, and a lot of people love their blushes, but I love this bronzer. It's so good. All right, the next bronzer is one that I feel like a lot of people love, but they don't talk about it a lot. It's something that it came out quite a while ago, but it's still so good. That's the Huda Beauty Tan Tour Cream Bronzer. Now, I love this. I have the shade Tan. I don't know what Huda was thinking with the shade names, because I'm about to show you what tan looks like. And you're going to be like, girl, that's not tan. It's not the shade Tan. Like, I wouldn't have named this one Tan. But this is tan. It's so deep. Now, I use this as a contour. It is a really, really deep shade. I ordered this online because Sephora no longer carries this in store, but I do think you can still get it online on Sephora, but they used to have this in stores. But I ordered this on the Huda Beauty's website when they had a sale. It was like my first time trying Huda Beauty ever, and this is one of the products that I ordered, and I ordered tan because I was like, tan, like, is that really gonna work for me? And it does work for me, but it's just very deep. Now, this is a bronzer that is so thick and creamy. You need to tread lightly. This kind of reminds me of the DANESSA MYRICKS contour. It feels the exact same. So if you own this or you own this, these literally feel the same. But look at how deep this shade is. Like, it's very deep, and this is the shade Tan, but I really want to pick up a lighter shade. I think the next shade down is the shade Medium. So I might pick that up because I really like the formula because it's really thick, but this is another cream bronzer that I would use on full coverage makeup days. This is not an everyday bronzer, but I do definitely think this is worth the money. I feel like because of how thick it is and how little product you need, this is gonna last you a very long time. I'm telling you now, it's gonna last you a long time. So next bronzer is from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Sun Glow Bronzer. Now, when I did my review on this, which I do have a review up on my channel if you're curious, it's a very thick kind of formula. I love it. It's self-setting also. It's not too creamy, but it's not too dry. It's like the perfect formula, and I really, really like that. But my thing was, this is the deepest shade. This is the shade 4 Deep, and this is more of a contour shade for me. This is like a $60 bronzer, which is so expensive. I did a TikTok on this, and people were like, you should return it, and like, it's too expensive. There's better, cheaper bronzers out there, which honestly, I can agree. That you're right. There's better, cheaper bronzers out there. And I will say, I've looked at reviews of this, of the lighter shades. A lot of people are not fans of the shade range, which I have to agree. 4 shades, not a fan of that. When I bought this, I thought I was getting a bronzer. When it comes to contour, my only thing with more contour-like shades is that I can only use it in certain places. I don't really like to put contour shades on my forehead. I like to keep it strictly on my cheeks, but I don't need a cream contour. I can just use a powder bronzer to get that look. I don't need to spend so much money on something that's gonna contour me. So that's the only thing. I just want something that I can use all over. And the fact that this was so expensive, and this is the deepest shade, and the shade, and one shade down from this is extremely too light for me, it's just a little bit like, oh, seriously. But this is an all up to you kind of thing. I like the formula. I don't like the shade range, but the formula isn't that good to where I'm like, you need to go out and get this. Like, it's not something you need to run out and buy and spend $60 for. Like, there's other bronzers I've mentioned so far in the video that are half the price. Next bronzer in a pot is this one right here from Makeup by Mario. This is his new skin enhancer. So I ended up returning my skin enhancer because I really did not like it. My first impressions, I did a first impressions on TikTok, and I liked it, first impressions, but as I wore it throughout the day, I was like, hold on, this is not lasting. This is slipping and sliding right off my face. I love the color of the product, but as I wore it throughout the day, I was just like, this is just not for me. This is just not for me. And it was just extremely greasy, like extremely greasy. Probably the most greasy product that I owned. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't. So I returned that and got this Rose Inc one instead. And I'm not too big of a fan on the Rose Inc formula, but you know, to each their own. But yeah, so just wanted to share my thoughts on that one. This is strictly, basically a cream bronzer. Honestly, it's a cream bronzer. It's very, very thin, super, super like oily, like greasy, like it looks greasy on the skin. Check out my review if you're curious about it. I have all my thoughts on there. Let's go ahead and move on to the last 5 bronzers in this video. Okay, the next one is a new cream bronzer, and it's from the brand LYS. So this is the cream bronzer stick. I freaking love this stick. And for the price, this is $19. For $19, you are definitely getting a lot for your money. So amazing. I love it. It's really natural, but it definitely does show up on the skin. Literally a 10 out of 10 for me. I wear this all the time when I'm not wearing much makeup. You don't even need a lot. Like a little bit goes a very long way. I like it. It blends beautifully. It's super creamy, black-owned brand. They killed this launch. The shade range is amazing. They definitely killed this launch. This is definitely worth your money. I do have a review on that if you want to go and check that out and see it applied to the face. So the next one is from Rare Beauty. This is the Rare Beauty bronzer stick. I feel like this is sold out literally everywhere, but I had to include it in this video. Now, this is probably the most different bronzer shade in my collection. I remember when I first tried this out, it was a little bit different for me because it was literally a bronzer stick. It has like red in it. It's not a typical shade for me. Like this isn't something that I would usually pick. It really does show up as a bronzer, and I kept it and I ended up really liking it. I do want to get a deeper shade just to see what that does, but they've been out of stock literally everywhere. Everywhere is out of stock. But I really want to get a deeper shade of this. A lot of people love this formula. It's really natural. If you love that natural bronzy look, you're literally gonna love this. It definitely gives you a sun-kissed look. The formula is really great as well. This also sets itself, which is really nice. It feels super lightweight. It literally feels like there's nothing there, but you can definitely see what it does for you, and it's such a great formula. Speaking of another great formula is one that you all know I am obsessed with, and I can't recommend this formula in general enough. It's the Made by Mitchell Blushes. So he came out with a range for bronzers. So the shade that I have is Shade and Laid. Also for the Rare Beauty, the shade that I have is Full of Life. Shade and Laid is so beautiful. My biggest thing with this formula is I really recommend applying it to the back of your hand, taking a brush, and then applying it to your face. I do not recommend taking the applicator and applying it directly to your face at all. Like at all, I do not recommend that. Self-setting, you can use it over powder, under powder. It's really amazing. Really affordable. I think this is like $16 or $17, which is really nice. I do want to pick up a couple more bronzery type shades in this because this one's really deep, so I kind of use it as a contour and then I go really light-handed, and I can use it as a bronzer as well. So I love it. I love it. Okay, so we have two more cream bronzer sticks to talk about. Y'all know this video, I'm hoping this video is helpful if you made it this far. Use a real one. This next one, I really am so sorry that this has been sold out for months, but I have to talk about it. It's the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Shaping Sticks. This is the shade Dark Deep. Now, I really hope that Makeup by Mario is taking so long to come restock these because he's adding more shades. Because the shade range, Makeup by Mario, give us more, because this is the deepest shade. And to say that this is the deepest shade, I'm a little like, oh no, we need a few more, okay? Love the formula of this. It's really natural, so beautiful on the skin, but it's a very subtle contour. It definitely does give me a little bit of a sculpted look, a little bit snatched, not as snatched, but if I want to still be snatched and have my makeup looking natural, I definitely do reach for this one over any others. The last one I want to talk about is from Fenty. This is the Fenty Matchstick. I use the shade Espresso. This is such a common shade, okay? Super common. I don't know who that is outside making all that noise, but they messing up my video. Who is that? Okay, but yeah, so I really feel like this is a great safe shade. So pretty as a contour. Love it. I feel like everyone like already owns the matchsticks, or if you haven't owned it, you've tried it already. I don't feel like I need to spend too much time on this, but this is a really good, if you're in Sephora, in Ulta, you're looking for a contour, you need it ASAP, something quick, easy, definitely recommend the Fenty Matchstick Bronzer. So that is all of my cream bronzers in my collection. I hope this video was so helpful. I hope it was helpful. Please let me know if it was, because I'm hoping it was helpful. But let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know what your favorite cream bronzer is, or if there's one that I haven't tried yet, because I feel like I've tried just about all of the new ones that have come out. But let your girl know, because I have been definitely into cream products, especially cream blush, cream bronzer, all of the good stuff. But I'm going to end this video right here, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.